Shalom. A lot to start off by giving praises, honor, and glory to Yahweh, Bahashem, Yahushua, Bahashem, Rakakadash. Double honors to the apostles and elders of Great Millstone. Salutations to the whole for that's pushing this truth across four corners of the earth, all faith, truth, and sincerity. This I'm gonna want to buy back again in the city. I just want to go into real quick. Not gonna make this too long. It's gonna tell it's gonna come a day, that the Lord Yahushua is gonna return. He's gonna destroy this place, America, Babylon the Great. By way of the fire. This place, America, Babylon the Great, will be destroyed by by fire. And it's gonna be a very intense fire. The destruction. From that fire. By the Lord the destruction that's gonna come by way of. The Lord Yahweh Yahushua, when he returns, he's gonna burn this place up, with that intense fire, when he returns, so I'm getting to it. It's Malachi 4:1. For behold, the day cometh that shall burn as an oven, and all the proud, and all that do wickedly shall be stubbled, and the day that cometh shall burn them up, saith the Lord Yahweh of hosts, Yahweh shall hosts, that it shall leave them neither root nor branch. So it's going, the day is gonna come, that the Lord Yahushua gonna make his return in the chariot, so-called UFO, in the chariot, which are the so-called UFOs. People call them so-called the UFOs, the so-called, but they are the chariots of the Lord, So Yahushua is gonna come back in, what people call UFOs, and he's gonna return, with the angels, and he's gonna bring that fire. He's gonna bring that fire upon this place, America, Babylon the Great. By the chariots, laser beams, by the chariots, and ultimately the thermonuclear missiles, right? It's gonna burn up everything that you see here. Nothing's gonna be left here in America, Babylon the Great. All that do wickedly, those that not of the righteous number, that's not gonna have mercy by the Lord Yahushua when he returns. He makes his glorious return. When the Lord Yahushua returns, only ones that are gonna escape the wrath of judgments of the Lord Yahushua is the elect of the so-called Negro Latino natives, which are Israelites. Hopefully them part of righteous number, right? But those that not of that number are gonna be destroyed in the wrath and destruction that the Lord Yahushua gonna bring upon the place, America, Babylon the Great. Other countries gonna get hit with missiles as well, but most of the destruction and it's gonna come. It's gonna be here in America, Babylon the Great. Like I say, it's gonna be nothing left here, man. Everything's gonna be destroyed, man. Everything that you see here, what I'm saying, it's gonna be burnt up. So I'll go from there. So I didn't want to make this too long. It's 2 Peter 3:10. But the day of the Lord will come as a thief in the night, in the which the heavens shall pass away with a great noise, and the elements shall melt with fervent heat, and the earth also, and the works that are therein shall all be burned up. So the Lord Yahushua, he gonna come in as a thief in the night. What's that night? What we in now, this darkness, this night, this midnight darkness, of this world that's ran by the so-called white man, Esau and my devils, this darkness, all this wickedness, There's there's no good in this darkness. Nothing is righteous about it. This rulership, this setup. It's nothing but darkness and wickedness, evil, and stuff like that. Bad spirits, demons, all this stuff like that. That's within this world that's ran by the so-called white man Esau, Edomite doubles. But Lord Yahushua is going to turn in this in this night, in this darkness. Because Yahushua is the morning star. He's gonna come back, and he's gonna, when his glorious return is gonna, shine, and he's gonna bring his wrath and judgment down upon this place, America, Babylon the Great. And it said the heavens shall pass away with a great noise. Like I say, this place is the rulership, the Edomite doubles. This is their heaven, right? This is their heaven. And for the so-called Negro, Latino, Native Israelites, this is our hell. This is because we're at the bottom. It's a condition. Heaven and hell is a condition. Heaven, you having, control of things, and you have, you in rule. You have rule, and you have control over the things and people and so forth like that. You in control. You have your, way of, going about, just having power, right? You have the power, So though these so-called white people, Esau and my devils, this is their time of rulership, right? And power. But they time of rulership and power is coming to an end. We in that time now. Before the Lord Yahushua returns, you can see the ending of it, right now. Their house is divided, they can't agree on shit. This economy is shit. The dollar ain't worth shit. Excuse my language, but it ain't. It's going to shit. America, Babylon Great, the so-called white man Esau, Edomite devil's world, in this place, America, Babylon the Great is going to shit, man. It's going down. It's going down the drain. And like I say, Lord Yahushua, when he returns, he's going to destroy this wicked setup, this wicked system that's ran by the so-called white man, Esau, Edomite devils, the elites, the bankers, those that's in power, and they're going to try to escape, into those bunkers, but they ain't going to, get away, they ain't going to get away, because they going to get dug out in them bunkers, and they're going to have to face their judgment, and go into slavery. But everything here in America, Babylon, everything here in Babylon the Great is going to be destroyed. All the elements, everything you see, the cars, all these cars and houses, everything here. These buildings, everything's going to be completely destroyed and burnt up when Lord Yahushua returns, returns in chariots, so-called UFOs, y'all call them UFOs, and ultimately those thermonuclear missiles going to be shot down upon America, Babylon the Great. Everything you see here going to be completely destroyed, man. Ain't gonna be nothing left, and that's the second death. The first one was the time of Noah with water. This time you have the second one the second death, is gonna be by way of the fire, by way of the thermonuclear missiles, and excuse me, I'm not sure, but yeah, and like I say, the only ones that's gonna escape that second death is gonna be the elect of the so-called Negro, Latino, natives, which are the Israelites. Again, like I said, hopefully I don't probably write your number, because you don't want to say you don't want that second, you don't want that, I don't want it, what I'm saying. But those that believe Lord Yahushua and hopefully continue to believe, me myself first from continue to believe in Lord Yahushua, keep pushing this truth, keep pushing what keep teaching and warning, keep, do what, your best of your ability, and pushing his word and truth for Lord Yahushua, keep your faith until the end, no matter what. And I said it goes for me first and foremost, but, and go from there. And like I say, in these times that, me myself, first and foremost, I like to say that, and those that believe in these times, continue to pray and fast the Lord Yahushua for mercy and deliverance, man. Because, man, each day that goes by, you just don't know. Things is just, one day you wake up, all hell could break loose. Things dramatically could turn, here in America, Babylon the Great, where, ain't gonna be no just, go about your day, It ain't gonna be, on normal, your regular normal day, you get up and do this and do that. You could wake up, man, everything just changed, man. All hell break loose out here, bombs or something. Attack or something, a cyber attack, power goes out, something. Something's gonna happen to where it's gonna completely drastically change, the way you go about your life. It's gonna be one day, man, just boom, dramatic change, and then this place is just is about to be out the way, and Lord Yahushua is gonna make his return. The RFID chip, which is the mark of the beast, gonna be the new currency, a way of buying and selling. Martial law troops gonna be out here in the streets. Chaos in the streets, then martial law troops in the streets, and chaos in America, Babylon the Great. Martial law troops in the streets and so forth, man. All out anarchy, and there's gonna be a lot of death, out here, and people losing and so forth, man. Cannibalism, lack of food, famine. People gonna be out here eating people, and it's gonna get crazy. It's gonna get wild out here before it's all said and done. Because everything of the prophecies of word of the Lord is got to, excuse me, everything that's in the word of the Lord, the Bible and the prophecies got to come to pass. And nothing's gonna, nothing in the word of the Lord is gonna it's not gonna skip. Nothing's gonna skip. It's gonna play out. How it's gotta play out. But I did not want to make this too long, so I'm in off of this. It's 2 Ezra 16:13. For strong is his right hand. Excuse me. For strong is his right hand that bendeth the bow. His arrows that he shooteth are sharp, and shall not miss when they begin to be shot into the ends of the world. So that's talking about right there is the thermonuclear missiles. The missiles are in those silos. When they if you look it up, the silos, missiles being the silos, and they get shot, right? But the Loyal Shah gonna be, but the Loyal Shah, when he returns, he gonna be the one to activate those missiles to come out of to come out of those silos to be shot towards America, Babylon the Great, and burn up and shoot up, come towards America, Babylon the Great, and burn up everything you see here. I know how to read some scriptures on it. Everything here gonna be burnt up. Ain't gonna be nothing left. Like I said, and those of the elect gonna be in those chariots, so-called UFOs, looking at the destruction. Seeing, this place just utterly be burnt up, and seeing this great this great whore, America, Babylon the Great, be destroyed, and these so-called white people, Esau and my devils, they, power rulership, coming to an end, So with that, I didn't want to make it too long. Hope this was edifying. So again, I like to give all praises, honor, and glory